All right, welcome everyone to this episode of Notes with Jack. This is episode 23, and my name is Alan Fox, and I am here with the newest Taylor Swift fan on the island of Manhattan, and his name is Jack O'Brien.
I'm probably the oldest too, don't you think? Maybe?
Maybe,
The oldest
yeah.
fan?
So we're getting into this because before we started recording,
Well,
go ahead, tell me, get it off your
well, I
chest.
mean, it's everywhere. I mean, they did 2 hours. They did
Yeah.
Taylor Swift did 2 hours with her boyfriend on he and his brother's podcast, and
Right.
she sort of spilled the beans about their relationship, and he flung confetti, and she talked about her new album, and the world is buzzing with this news because she's
Sure.
never done this. So
Right.
I'm not sure we're relevant today.
Right.
Relevancy.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh?
I'm not sure. But here's the thing: I'm not sure we're the most relevant thing happening today, right? But highest to lowest
We're not.
comes out tomorrow, so we could steal some of her thunder because I wrote highest to
Oh,
lowest,
let's.
and I was in Taylor Swift's music video for 15.
Oh, I forgot that.
I was
In
the
a former
guy.
case.
I was the guy that stole everything Abigail had, which I
Do
think
we
was
get-
an
do we get a-
allusion to taking advantage of her. What? Go ahead.
Can you do can you a cut of that and show the people? Can you edit in that video?
Maybe, maybe I can.
I never.
I want to.
I'd love to see that.
Okay, well, I'll send it to you sometime.
What year? What year is it? What year is
A
that?
long time ago. I think probably 15 years ago at this point. It's ironic.
Wow,
The
you're
song was
different.
called 15, and now it's 15 years ago.
You're
Yeah,
a different 15-year-old person.
dude, I am so different than I was when I went. I remember.
are.
You know what's interesting? I remember two things. I remember sitting beside her dad the whole shoot, or a lot of the shoot, and him talking to me about how I should go back to school. But when I went back to school, about how I could get out of actually doing a lot of the work so I could still pursue the things I wanted to do without having to spend a lot of time in the classroom or studying. And I thought that was a really interesting thing for this guy to be talking to me about. And then
Who is he?
I
The Wizard of
remember,
Oz?
yeah, well, I mean, his daughter's Taylor Swift. Apparently, he probably is the Wizard of Oz. I don't know, but
Maybe he
I,
is.
yeah, he may be. And I also remember how like clever she was. Like we had a really good banter, and she was much more clever than I anticipated. And I guess that's probably comes through in all her songs and stuff. You know what I mean? But like
I have to say, I was sort of blown away by her candor and a little
Yeah.
bit of. I'm trying to get ready to go to rehearsal and have this conversation with you and all the rest of it. So I was a little distracted, but
Yeah.
the television is going on, and I'm not watching the podcast. I'm watching the reportage of it
sure.
on the
Uh-huh.
show, on the morning show, the Today Show, and
Yeah.
they do a whole chunk of it, and she's articulate. She's totally at home in her body.
Yeah.
There you can see that. I think they have a great relationship, by the way, because
Yes.
he's totally into
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
you know. And I thought
Yeah.
I was thinking in the shower, oh, so he's like our version of a gladiator, and she's like the world princess. And so there's
Right.
this sort of there's a fairy tale going on here, and suddenly she comes out of her shell. Now everybody wants Megan to do the same. They want, Kate in London, tell us the truth. Everybody wants to hear we're the only people telling the truth these days. The two
Yeah.
of us.
Do you think though? Do you not think? Because here's what I think. Like I kind of believe that this is the next evolution of the media. Because in some ways, what she did was because I don't know a lot about her boyfriend and their podcast and everything, but it sounds like they've been doing it for a while. I think they were doing it before Taylor Swift. They were dating. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what's
That
interesting is,
podcast.
yeah, and she sort of now
Yeah.
has her own platform to talk in a long form conversation in a safe place in the way she wants. And there can be no gotcha journalism going on. They can't pull quotes from her.
Dude.
They can't. That's what we're given for you.
Dude, 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
They talk for 2
Yeah.
hours. We
Yeah.
don't talk for 2 hours. You and Berman
no,
didn't
man,
talk
'cause
for
you-
2 hours, although you
'cause you-
came close.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. Do you listen to her music? Like, have you listened much to her music or no?
Apparently not,
Not
because I
enough.
can't tell you. I'm not enough to know. No, and I
Right.
know. The thing is, I'm not in that channel. That's that cultural channel. I'm
Right.
I'm farming the last patch of ground on my little estate, if you know
Right.
what I mean. I am. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
out there in the corner of my own back 40, and I'm thinking, well, when I get this one done, that's probably it. I mean, I was saying to the guys yesterday, it was sort
Yeah.
of moving, Alan, because I mean, this is day three of Sound of Music here in
Yeah. Yeah.
Manhattan,
Yeah.
prior to the Kennedy Center, and I'm with these guys, Matt Lenz, who has been my associate for many, many years on lots of plays, and his associate, and Danny
Yeah.
Mefford, my choreographer, and I've done bunches of shows with him, and his. And all of these guys have individually, at times, worked on The Sound of Music, which has been out there on the road. So they all know it. And
Yeah.
so I have this odd feeling of sitting here. I could do it, but they do it so much more expediently than I do,
Mm.
and they're all enormously capable people.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had this in my life. So I
Yeah.
sit there and I watch a version of what we did 10 years ago start to
Yeah.
emerge. And then I stop and change it or
Yeah.
add things or say,
Yeah.
we need a picture of mimosas
Yeah.
here. I think they should be
Yeah.
having some drink and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But let
Do
me,
you, is it hard? Is it
I'm
hard to,
jumping.
no, you're good. Is it hard to sit back though like that? Like after being in the driver's seat for, all these years, like if this is the first experience of you going through that, what does it feel like to have that experience?
This is such an interesting question. I mean, I'm a director with a lot of directors
Right.
that I have inadvertently trained to do
Mm.
this particular project.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the cool thing.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of we're doing this, I'm exploring what we call the trios.
Yeah.
In they were cut out of the movies. If you people have seen the movie, you didn't see these trios. If you've ever seen it on the stage, there are Elsa, the captain, and Max have a number in the first act and a number in the second act, and they're sort of operetta-like, and they're
Mm.
beautifully written, and they're sort of satiric, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it the first time around, and we didn't have time. But we were thinking at the end, maybe this is more interesting than we think. We just didn't have time to do it. So today, now, because we've moved 10 years ahead, we're thinking, let's start here. Let's put the needle in here. Let's see
Hmm.
if we can make this jump. Let's see how to make
Yeah.
this relevant. And so,
Yeah.
to help me, Matt Lance, my beloved Matt Lance, who's done all its work with me, they have a video. They have a
Yeah.
video that they study, which was taken the last performance in, God help us, Boise, Idaho, which is where we
Right.
teched this production 10 years ago, and then quickly
Huh.
popped it in to Los Angeles, where it opened, which is exactly what we're doing now. We're doing the work in Manhattan. We will then go to Utica the week after next. We will tech the show in Utica. We will play I think a matinee and an evening for the lovely people up there. And then, boom, it goes to the Kennedy Center, and Bob's your uncle.
Right.
So so we're sort of saying, what did this look like? Do we have it right? And so
Yeah.
Matt shows me the video from 10 years ago. And I think, oh my God, this isn't good.
Right.
They act like they're in a play. These
Yeah.
are really good people. This
Yeah.
earned me some of the best reviews I've ever had. It toured
Yeah.
for almost 2 years, maybe
Yeah.
longer. I don't remember.
Yeah.
People really loved it because it wasn't the movie, and they
Yeah.
thought they were going to see the movie because that's all anybody knows. But the
Yeah.
movie was a travesty according to the
Yeah.
original authors. They hated that movie,
Yeah.
and
What
so
has
I
changed? What
took
has changed
great.
in you in the last 10 years that you're seeing this
Well,
now? Is there
that's
something? it
Well,
happens with ghosts too. You know, we've talked about it. Like it's interesting. You're digging into both of them again.
what this has to do with the whole industry that
Yeah,
I can feel it in my bones. And let
yeah,
me explain why.
yeah,
Years ago, I went to see a production of a musical, very famous musical. It was out on the road. It did play Broadway and then on the road. I'm going to knock it, so I'm not going to mention it because it's not the
sure,
point that I liked it or didn't like it. It was very
sure.
successful at the time,
Yeah,
okay? And I
yeah,
went to see it. It happened to be a show I love and know very well. Never did the show.
yeah.
I thought it was terrible because they were
Right.
all in a musical. They were all doing those things when people act like they're on a stage, and you think, it's just
Right.
two steps away
Yeah,
from the Muppets.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
why I could
two
never
steps
connect to
away.
musicals, honestly. Yeah.
I think that's probably quite true,
It's it's
and why
definitely
you
true.
never get. Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking to myself when I'm watching this, a piece that with people I know and care about.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do they know what they're doing?
Hmm.
And the audience is loving it and cheering it, and it was very successful. And I thought to myself, I wonder if it's possible to do a show, a musical, an American musical, so organically honest that it
Hmm.
just seems to be being lived up there. And the result was uh, uh, the Full Monty.
Hmm.
The Full Monty, which you probably never saw,
No.
right?
No. No, I've never seen it. I think it was a long
Patrick
time ago.
Wilson, Patrick Wilson,
Yeah.
John Conley, John Elson Conley, and Andre De Shields, fabulous people.
Yeah.
I took it down, and they just were breathing. Annie
Hmm.
Golden, all these wonderful Broadway people, but I took it way down,
Yeah.
and it was shocking, totally shocking.
Hmm.
And I had the same response, and that's what I'm doing. I think what happens is
What
it's
was the
like,
response from the crowd? I'm sorry. What was the response from the crowd with the Full Monty? Because if you're not expecting that, if you're an audience, right? A lot of times that can be really jarring. And what you're kind of talking about, you're kind of you're Brando playing with the form, right? It's like suddenly you're going from this sort of stylized presentational way into a more natural way. And I wasn't alive in the 50s, but I have a feeling that a lot of people weren't always Brando fans in the 50s. It takes the next generation to kind of grow into that type of aesthetic.
okay, this will mean nothing to you because I have a friend who constantly says time is a circle, and he's sort of obsessed with it, and he
Yeah,
uses it. He's trying to teach me
yeah,
something about it,
yeah, yeah,
and I suddenly realized I'm in that circle again now
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm having the same response to looking at my work 10 years ago
hmm,
that I had when I looked at someone else's work 25, 30 years ago and thought,
yeah,
I think it should be realer than this. I mean, maybe we
hmm.
always do this. Maybe we have to find ourselves in the image. See, look, this is
I,
complicated,
I,
but
let me
why do we do this at all?
right.
Why,
Well, I'll
why,
add.
why do,
I, right. I think I'll add this. Right. I think culturally, as humans, we are desperate. I think we're desperate for authenticity right now. Right. I think it's why people always say, I watch a lot of documentaries. I don't necessarily watch a lot of scripted stuff. I think it's why maybe you're
yep.
feeling this impetus to push towards more naturalism in the theater. It's everyone is living behind a screen and everyone is sort of more presentational in their day-to-day life. We don't think we can trust politicians. We can't trust the media. We can't trust anyone. So I think we're all sort
AI?
of right, exactly. We're all sort of trying to reclaim this thing that we know is like innately human. That, and for me at least, and I know a lot of people, may love that presentational style of musicals, but that to me never felt real, so I could never plug into it. And it sounds like
Well,
that's what you're wrestling with.
but link it together with another thing that is,
Yeah,
and that is true of all of us. Tell me
yeah,
a story
yeah,
when we're children. I'll tell you a
yeah,
story, then you go to bed, okay? Okay.
yeah,
And you tell the story. Why do you tell the story? You tell the story. There are lots of reasons. It has a moral. It keeps the kid quiet. You
yeah,
get to do funny voices. Whatever.
yeah,
but you are
Yeah.
playing with an alternate reality and trying to make it so relevant that the child or the audience is glued.
Yeah.
And so that is basically what is happening.
Yeah.
We pay, it's unlike any other art form. We pay money to go into a place where the lights are turned off with tons of people we not only do not know, but we do not want to know.
Yeah.
And we focus on a ritual where people are pretending to be someone else so effectively that we are moved and or laughed into laughter or tears, or we learn something,
Yeah.
something that we wouldn't have known. We're being
Yeah.
given a gift through
Yeah.
metaphor, through drama that somehow might help us.
Yeah.
Maybe, or
Yeah.
entertain us, or at least ease the day's burden.
I think
So
it's interesting.
constantly,
Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry. I think
no,
what I
we
was gonna
always
no
talk about the
what
same.
I know we always lag a little. What I was gonna also add to that is when I think about you directing something, trying to replicate reality, it makes me think sometimes about, if you go through a breakup or you go through a difficult situation, a lot of processing that experience is trying to create a story about it that you can live with. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? Like you break up with someone, it's like, I want to understand why. I want to understand my
Yeah,
role. I want to understand their role. And once you have that story, like once you have at least a personal why that's clear, that's part of, I think, moving on. I think it's why we go to therapists because they help us kind of crystallize the chaos into a story that helps us take a step forward. And when I think about you directing, trying to make it more naturally, actually, we need tea here, we need this here, we need that here. It's your instinct of that event that you're trying to take all this chaos and crystallize into this thing that we all can ingest, if that makes sense. And I think that's why stories are so important. It frees us of something. It unlocks a sort of like step forward for us as people to see chaos come into order. And I
well,
know it's not quite
also
as
there's this
eloquent as
other.
telling a kid a story.
No, it isn't. But you're right. I mean, no, but what I know, but this is so tender and difficult
Yeah,
because basically I'm not doing well with my relationship. I think I'm hurting her or him. We're not communicating. I wonder how Romeo and Juliet worked it out. So you watch
right,
somebody
right,
else and think,
right,
oh,
right.
better not
Yeah,
go there.
yeah, yeah. No,
Uh-oh.
I think that's part of it too. And you
I
see the
mean, I
consequences
mean,
if you do go there.
aren't we tricking the audience a little bit? Aren't we saying, here's another reality, listen and learn?
Yeah,
You can live through this with us. We'll do it for you as honestly as we can, and
yeah,
then maybe you learn something, but it won't hurt you
yeah.
because we're
I
doing it.
I think
I'm going to hurt my.
the Sound of Music, I think, also echo like the reason it can stand the test of time. I've been thinking about this a lot since our last episode. Because we talked about it actually when we stopped recording for a minute, and this kind of you teed it up really well to come back into it. I think that obviously doing it at the Kennedy Center and the types of like political environment you're moving into, there's one part of the Sound of Music that is very clear and can resonate, right? But I think the reason that story stands the test of time is the way it balances authoritarianism. The Nazis are sort of authoritarianism, and so is the church in how Maria is like would have to live. She would have to abandon her own creativity in order to live under that structure. It's a similar,
And her
and I don't
body.
want to, right, exactly, like
Uh,
I don't want to compare the Nazis to the church, right? But what I'm saying is I think the reason something like The Sound of Music is elevated and stays around forever is because it gives us this perfect balance of how authoritarianism can come into play. It's not just the bad guys. The good guys can also tilt that way too. And that's what I think what you're saying when you sit there and you watch it, even if it's only subconscious, we learn that moral you're talking about from all these different directions, and we feel elevated when we get out of it.
yeah, I mean, the other thing that's going on is that we are, and I have to be careful how I say this because I don't want I don't want to ruin it for anybody who's going to see it.
Yeah.
There's another thing going on. The Sound of Music, like Hamilton, like Oklahoma,
Hmm.
they're these juggernauts of art, visual, sonic art that locked in, and they're really good, and they're what we call chestnuts, and everybody wants to see them because we know it's going to happen. I mean, I made that joke the last time, the
Yeah.
Trump,
Yeah.
the tramps get out, but the nuns
The
don't.
nuns don't. Right.
The nuns don't. So here's the deal. We think we know what this show is about. It's
Yeah.
got children in it. It's got gorgeous music. We know what happens. They get away at the end. Let's go see it. And
Yeah.
I, as the director, am saying, what else can I show you here? What
Yeah.
else is living in this lesson
Yeah.
that didn't get a proper telling the last time?
Yeah.
That might twist it, change it, engage you on a much more difficult level, a much more visceral level.
So what
And
is
that's
it
what I think
about
they're
that
doing.
trio? Yeah, and so you mentioned a few minutes ago the trio that you're now sort of you said let's put the pin in here. How do they echo all these things you're talking about? Like in that as you're starting to
Well,
dig that out.
okay, here's a peek behind the curtain. I'm
Yeah,
starting to stage it with people who have not done it for me. They've
yeah,
not done it either. I
yeah,
think one of them has, but not in the same role. So it's a blank. It's tabula rasa. It's a whole new
yeah,
experience, right?
yeah,
And so I'm thinking you could do two things. They can just start to sing, and the song will go along, and
yeah,
everybody likes the song, and it's
yeah,
over, and everybody
yeah,
applauds, right? Or I
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
say, as I did yesterday, why are they singing?
Hmm.
What's going on
Hmm.
here?
Hmm.
It seems to me, to be a contest in both of them. They got a funny idea. They said, here's the funny thing about rich people. They don't suffer. How can
Yeah,
love survive? The world is
yeah,
set up so you have to struggle to get together, and that's the trope. But
yeah,
if she's rich and he's rich, what are you going to sing about? And it's
yeah,
kind of funny. And when you
yeah,
see these two, see what I mean? And so you
yeah,
see these two rich people who are singing this song, they're setting themselves up.
yeah, yeah.
And the third
That's
guy,
so clever. Yeah,
isn't it? And the third
yeah,
guy who she's trying to marry because he's
yeah,
rich and he would politically help her cause. He's
yeah.
like doesn't have anything to sing. He doesn't sing in
Right,
it,
right,
right?
right,
So you think
right.
to yourself, well, so wait a minute, Jack. They're performing for him.
Yeah,
So let's throw the ball there. Let's
yeah,
make the scene about an improv in which they have fun, but they're talking about something he's supposed to listen to. Enjoy
yeah,
the money you've got.
yeah. Dude,
I
that's
don't
I
think
love
anybody did
that.
that.
I don't yeah, and whether they did or not, we've never seen it. You know what I mean? It's this
That
original idea about coming into it. And what I love so much too is it kind of echoes with how we started, which is choices like that elevate it out of musical melodrama. Do you know what I mean? Because even I think
yes,
when I watched the clip of that performance, I mean, I tried to go before the last episode and watch clips of them singing these songs because I didn't know them.
yeah,
Everyone is
yeah,
and it's like it's so earnest the singing of
that
rich people can't have to struggle and I'm
polished.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I can almost like I said, like I picture the musical as the Brady Bunch sort of. It's like I can picture that them doing it so earnestly. And then I think about this version where it's two people sort of sending each other up and I really think that's cool. That's really cool.
Isn't it? And so
Yeah.
here's me yesterday. Here's
Yeah.
a given. They're having coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
right? And that's built into the dialogue. He wants his coffee, blah blah blah. And I said, what if there's a picture of mimosas?
Yeah.
Because these are rich people and it's brunch time. So you could
Yeah.
have coffee, but you could have some mimosas.
Sure.
And
Sure.
they're high livers. So they both
Yeah.
have a couple of belts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
slightly not as cautious as they would be.
Huh. Yeah. That's
And he
cool.
does the guy in the middle doesn't drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing odder than being, as you well know, being
Yeah,
the
tell me
person in
about
the
it.
room without drink while the other
Yeah.
two people are getting high.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I suddenly thought to myself, we were taking a risk, but we and my horoscope yesterday, so sweet. My horoscope said, go ahead. They're gonna they're gonna they're they're gonna question you, and but be consistent. You'll get there, and we did.
Yeah. Dude, that's so great. And the people, I don't know,
Isn't
man.
that
I can only
fun?
imagine. Yes, and I can only imagine from an actor standpoint. I would love that, right? It's like you come in and you inject life into this thing, and I don't know. You know what I've wanted to say this whole time that you've been talking the past 5 minutes is, I think part of the reason I love talking to you so much is because you think about it so deeply, like I try to. That was a
Hmm.
it's been such an interesting experience with highest to lowest, and like seeing it and all, and like talking to people about it and seeing sort of what's in the movie, what's not in the movie, all this kind of stuff, and like going back through my own choices with my with my script, and it's just, I don't know, man. I just believe that this level of thought leads to something that feels more real, like you're trying to get at. It's these types of
I,
questions and answers and choices that get you there, I believe.
I know it's a stuffed time right now, but I've got to see your movie because it would be fun for us to discuss that
We'll do it
from
at
your
some,
point
yeah.
of view.
Yeah, we'll do it. I mean,
I,
we'll do it at some point.
I just can't get to a movie today. I just
Yeah, no,
can't do it.
don't worry. I mean, we should wait until it comes out on Apple, because then you'll be able,
Oh, that's
then
good.
you'll be able to
And
see it,
everybody
and
can do it.
also other one can see it, and we can talk about it then. We'll do it then. But I don't
We
want to
can
get
have
off
a
this though. I
we
just, what?
we
We
can
can
have
have
a
a great
tutorial.
conversation.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah,
It's really
yeah. We can
fun.
we can do all that.
It's
But I
like
just,
Oprah's book club. We're like Oprah's
yeah,
book club.
yeah, man. No, we're like Taylor Swift meets Oprah's book club. That's what we are, man.
Well,
You and
yeah,
me.
we are. We
Uh,
are.
I just love that. So you're going in. So today's gonna be day 4. You're going back in. Is there something today you're excited about looking at that
Um,
with, or is there
well,
like
yes.
what's on the
My
docket for
lat
today?
The last person in the company is
Yeah,
arriving today, Christiane Noel, who's coming
yeah,
to play the Mother Abbess. Now
huh?
she's coming she thinks she knows what the show's about.
Mm.
Oh, here they come again. Here, can you hear this?
Yeah,
Can
man.
you hear this?
Ask him.
Is they're saying
Ask him. Go ahead.
they said no, they said it's completed. We've not heard a damn thing. If the if they put the thing on, we burnt to a crisp up here in the 611. Anyway, okay. The
Today.
Mother Abbess is coming in, and she doesn't know what I'm doing.
Mm.
She also
Hmm.
doesn't know that I'm finding, for me, and why does she sing "Climb Every Mountain"?
Mm.
Maria, we'll
Yeah.
talk about this later. There's a scene where she says, "What do I do?" She asks a question of the Mother Abbess, and then
Yeah.
boom, climb every mountain. And I stopped them 10 years ago, and I said, "What? You singing a song?" She didn't ask for a song.
Yeah.
She asked for advice.
Yeah.
Why don't you start speaking it,
Hmm.
and then let the music come in?
Hmm.
And then I thought, why does the music come in?
Hmm.
Because she's tapping into something of herself.
Yeah. Totally.
She
Totally.
starts to be helpful to the young girl, and then she thinks, I never did this.
Yeah.
I, as a nun, never did
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And she suddenly, in the middle of her career,
Yeah.
realizes she never made her covenant with God.
Yeah.
Better now than never.
Yeah.
So instead of just singing a song, it
Yeah.
activates the need to do it.
Yeah.
And so, and if you think that doesn't change the singer, you're crazy,
Yeah.
because they're
No,
no
absolutely.
longer letting the music do the work. They are the reason the music is happening.
Yeah.
And
She's
that makes a
also
huge difference.
she's also meeting Maria where Maria lives. It's she starts to talk, and real, like, when you are talking to me, you find that common ground with me, and like song seems to be Maria's sort of internal spirit, as I like to call it. And it's like, then she meets her there, and like it's them finding this kind, and like you said, it's a part of her. That's so interesting. Yeah.
The first thing we see of Maria, she's out on a mountain all by herself, and what is she doing?
Yeah.
She's singing.
Yeah.
The sound
Yeah.
of music. It's her.
Yeah.
It is her oxygen. So
Yeah.
suddenly, the Mother Superior borrows a little bit of it
Yeah.
because maybe the girl, if I speak to her in her own language, if I
Yeah.
sing this, maybe she will understand. And in doing it, when you do something for someone else from
Yeah.
your heart, I am convinced you grow as a human being. What
Yeah.
happens is you activate something in yourself that has lain dormant or has never been asked. And suddenly you're not just giving advice, you are sharing the reason to go forward.
Hmm. That's a bar right there. It's so true, man. It's so true. I keep thinking about yeah, I just keep thinking about her now as someone who like you said didn't necessarily make her covenant with God. She wakes up in this place and sees maybe her younger self leaning towards something and sort of understands what she's going through and then meets her where she's standing. And it's
I
also
said to the company, I said to the company on the first day, I said, I'm asking you to put your own stamp on this piece now
yeah.
and let it go forward with what you are adding to it to
Hmm.
tell it better than it's ever been told before.
Yeah.
And the responsibility then is not me showing off. The
Yeah.
responsibility is what have you got to give us?
Yeah. I
That's
love what
exciting.
you said. It's great. It's amazing. And what I'm curious about, I love what you said last episode about you're trying to rebrand an American classic. Like I'm picturing you like a football coach in the locker room talking to your players. Do they, I have to imagine they do, but are they excited about that potential? Because rarely do you get given a gift from someone like you that says, hey, guess what? You're climbing every mountain. That's literally what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you're
But
trying to get there to it. Um, how do they
they
feel about
signed
that?
on they signed on as a job to do a tour of something they everybody loves and knows and sort of still wants to see. And now they realize they have a responsibility to show something that has never been seen.
Yeah,
And I think what we're all trying to do, Alan, is to make today worthwhile.
yeah,
I think that when you sit down to write and you want to write better than you wrote the scene before, or there's something, if it could come alive, what a thrill that would be for you. Because if it comes alive for you, they'll take it somewhere else, as they've done with
yeah,
this movie of yours.
yeah,
And even it's never what you and I meant. It isn't even the way we do it. But if we open something in it,
yeah,
people are all we want to do. I want to be better today than I was yesterday
yeah,
in the time left to me.
yeah. Dude, I can't stop thinking about this and we'll start to wrap up. But I'm always curious when people are moving through certain projects, how they start to reflect what's going on. And I've watched you over these last few months that we've been having these conversations. And of course, I didn't know you near as well a few years ago, but I feel like you've, in some ways, you're singing differently. Like maybe there was a time where you were kind of in the monastery and then now you're kind of now out there singing a little bit more. And I have to imagine
Yeah.
when you show up to rehearsal and the little Von Trapp kids or your company, you show up and you say, no, you're allowed, like, let's sing. Let's actually rediscover creativity together because this is what was always innately in me. And I'm sort of free from the monastery and I'm going to be myself a little more. And it's, I don't know,
This
it's really
is
cool to think about that.
this is so dangerous and mawkish and stupid. I'm almost afraid to say it, but Maria says that before she sings the great Do Re Mi, which everybody,
Yeah.
even in China, they know it and want to sing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
She says she's there to be a governess, and she doesn't know how to do it. They don't give her a handbill, a book. Nobody gives her instructions. She's never done it. She sees
Yeah.
not just one or two kids. There are 7 children.
Yeah.
So she's got to come up with something. And they say, we don't sing. And suddenly she gets it. And she says simply, oh, I know what now. I'm going to teach you to sing.
Yeah.
And when she said it in that way in rehearsal, I burst into tears
Yeah.
because I thought, what a gift. So there are truths locked in these tropes that we tell ourselves that are
Yeah.
there to feed us, that are there to encourage us, that are there to say, go this way with your
Yeah.
feelings of your life. Try this and see if
Yeah.
you don't feel better in the morning.
Yeah.
And I think, it's so stupid to be trying to validate a life in theater because it seems to be the circus no one should run away into. And I find out in the middle of my ninth decade,
Yeah.
all along, that it was just trying to free the truth.
Yeah.
And if we can do that at the Kennedy Center next month, see ya.
Dude, you're not only are you gonna do it, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm really I don't know, man. You were really
I'm
cooking with
setting
gas
myself.
today.
I'm
You were
setting up
really
myself. No, I'm setting myself up. I'm terrified because I've got to deliver this now. But all you can do, Alan, is to believe in yourself. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And
And even
and
like
if you
but
do that,
let's think about this. Think about Ghost. You took a big swing.
I know.
All of the swing didn't
Yeah,
necessarily work. You went in, you fixed it. People loved it.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
but trying to sing, right? It's like the thing that
yeah.
what I take from what you said about Maria talking to the Von Trapps is, what if the thing you're hiding is what the world really needs, right? Maria can't sing in her old environment. She shows up to this new environment, and exactly what they need is exactly what she wants to do.
There's something in what we're doing is the way out of the mess we're in.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. And with Chuck out on the road making people laugh, and with the sound of music going out on the road to make people think and feel, I believe that's the way to tell the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is your truth for you.
Yeah.
You, not someone
Yeah.
else telling you.
Yeah.
It's what
Yeah.
works for you.
Yeah.
And this is not a waste of my time.
No, man. It's the best. How is she gonna do it, right?
How
I
else are you
love
going to
this.
do it?
Man, we could talk forever, but you got a big interview to go get on. Just
I also have
listen, man.
I have a Mother Abbess to talk to. I'm
I
so
know, man. You got
excited.
you got a busy day today. All right, everyone.
We'll
We
talk
gotta
about
run.
this.
We will, of course, we're gonna talk about it. Thank you so much for your time. We love you, Jack. We're gonna let you go, and thank you everyone for listening. And we'll talk to you next week. All right, bye bye.